Imagine a world where cars could run for thousands of miles on a single drop of fuel, where incurable diseases were eradicated with frequency waves, and where energy was unlimited and free for everyone. Such a world might seem utopian, but what if I told you that inventions with this kind of potential have already existed? Many of these revolutionary technologies never reached the public, not because they were unfeasible, but because they were suppressed by powerful forces, economic and political interests that benefit from maintaining the status quo. And their inventors? Some faded into obscurity, others were discredited, and in more extreme cases, mysteriously disappeared. In this video, we will explore little-known stories of inventors who created promising and innovative technologies, but faced relentless resistance. Get ready to learn about some of the most intriguing cases of technological suppression, and reflect on what could have been if these inventions had been widely adopted. Ready to dive into these stories? Let's go. Case 1. Eugene Mallove and cold fusion. In the 1980s, the idea of generating clean, nearly unlimited energy through cold fusion seemed like the answer to the world's energy problems. At the center of this promise was Eugene Mallove, a brilliant engineer and tireless advocate for the technology. Cold fusion, in simple terms, involved replicating the process that happens inside stars, but under much milder conditions, potentially providing a sustainable energy source. When cold fusion was first announced as possible, the scientific community reacted with skepticism, and soon the idea was ridiculed and dismissed. However, Mallove didn't give up. He deeply believed in the viability of the technology and claimed that experiments were being intentionally sabotaged by those who didn't want this discovery to come to light. He wrote books, engaged in debates, and became one of the loudest voices defending cold fusion, even though it made him a target for hidden forces. In 2004, Eugene Mallove was found brutally and mysteriously murdered. While the official story claims he was the victim of a robbery, many speculate that his death was orchestrated to silence his crusade for cold fusion. After all, if this technology had been implemented, energy and oil giants could have lost trillions in profits. Was Mallove eliminated for going against these powerful interests? Case 2. Royal Rife and the Rife machine. In the 1930s, an eccentric scientist named Royal Rife claimed to have discovered something extraordinary, a machine capable of curing diseases using specific electromagnetic frequencies. He believed that by tuning the frequencies of a Rife machine, it was possible to destroy pathogens like viruses and bacteria without harming the body's healthy cells. Sounds promising, right? Rife was convinced that his machine could cure diseases like cancer and other incurable infections of the time. His experiments showed astonishing results, even attracting the attention of doctors and scientists interested in his findings. However, what followed was a twist straight out of a conspiracy movie. Instead of supporting his research, the medical and pharmaceutical communities began attacking him. His labs were mysteriously destroyed, his reputation was questioned, and his machine was discredited as pseudoscience. The Rife machine, which could have revolutionized medicine, was nearly erased from history. Could the pharmaceutical industry, with its billion-dollar profits based on continuous, expensive treatments, have seen Rife's technology as a threat? A definitive cure could break the cycle of costly treatments. Could this explain the mysterious destruction of his work? Case 3. Viktor Schauberger and Vortex Energy. Viktor Schauberger was a man deeply fascinated by nature. He believed that if the laws of nature were properly understood and applied, they could offer sustainable solutions to the world's greatest challenges. Specifically, he saw the movement of vortices in water as a potential mechanism to generate clean, unlimited energy. Schauberger developed devices based on vortex dynamics, inspired by the flow of rivers and the spiral motion of water. He claimed that his technology could produce more energy than it consumed, a concept that, if true, would have been a huge leap forward for humanity. But his story soon took a dark turn. During World War II, Schauberger was forced to work for the Nazis, developing technologies based on his energy theories. After the war, he tried to share his discoveries with the United States, but his work was discredited and dismantled. Many of his writings and inventions mysteriously disappeared, and he spent the rest of his life frustrated, unable to see his ideas accepted. Was Schauberger's Vortex energy suppressed because it threatened traditional energy industries? Perhaps his concepts were too revolutionary for a world reliant on coal, oil, and conventional electricity. Case 4. Paul Pantone and the GET system. Paul Pantone developed an invention that promised to be the ultimate solution for engine efficiency, the GET system, Global Environmental Energy Technology. The technology used a mixture of fuel and water vapor, drastically increasing efficiency and reducing pollutant emissions. Pantone claimed that his invention could allow regular engines to run on much less fuel, or even on materials like vegetable oil and other inexpensive liquids. With such disruptive potential, Pantone believed that the GET system could revolutionize the automotive and energy industries. However, instead of receiving support, he faced a series of legal and judicial hurdles. He was accused of fraud, went through complex legal processes, and ended up in prison. Even after his release, Pantone maintained that the fossil fuel industry was sabotaging him and using the legal system to suppress his invention. If the GET system truly worked as Pantone claimed, it had the potential to threaten the powerful oil corporations that dominate the global energy market. Was Pantone's imprisonment a case of justice or a strategy to keep him out of the way? After all, a world where cars run on water vapor would pose an immeasurable threat to the fossil fuel empire. Case 5. John Bedini and free energy. John Bedini was an inventor obsessed with the idea of free energy, a virtually infinite and accessible energy source derived from regenerative circuits and the quantum vacuum. Bedini believed that his systems could tap into this invisible energy, creating devices capable of producing more energy than they consumed, challenging conventional physics. Despite criticism from the scientific community, Bedini attracted a group of followers who believed in his discoveries. His devices, like the Bedini motor, promised an energy revolution, eliminating dependence on fossil fuels and centralized electricity. He openly published his schematics and experiments, encouraging others to replicate his creations. However, Bedini was treated as a charlatan. His inventions were ridiculed by the scientific community, which accused him of spreading pseudoscience. Nevertheless, he never abandoned his theories and maintained a loyal group of supporters. The concept of free energy represents a direct threat to traditional electricity and fuel industries. If Bedini's technology were real and widely adopted, multi-billion-dollar corporations could lose their dominance over the energy supply. Could this explain why his experiments never received proper attention or support? Is the idea of free energy truly a hoax? Or are we witnessing yet another technology suppressed by corporate interests? These inventors, with their revolutionary ideas, make us wonder if the world we live in could have been radically different. Eugene Mallove, Royal Rife, Viktor Schauberger, Paul Pantone, and John Bedini, each of them brought forth a promising technology capable of transforming entire sectors, from energy to healthcare. Yet, instead of recognition, they faced discredit, sabotage, and in some cases, even death. The stories we've heard suggest that larger forces may be at play, shaping what society accepts as technological progress. Could these technologies have been suppressed because they threaten the profits and power of large corporations? What might we have lost with the fall of inventors like Mallove and Rife? What could the future have been like? The lingering question is, how different would our world be if these inventions had seen the light of day? Could we be living on a healthier planet with clean energy, eradicated diseases, and accessible resources for all? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe these technologies were intentionally suppressed? Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay with us for more intriguing stories about inventions that could have changed the world.